Basically, in the top team you've got me with Makanos as Hades, and Caps Lock as Quakers. And in the bottom team you've got Pac-Man as Chimera, Aloera as Fang, and Golrin as Abel. So again, I'll be kind of focusing on myself for the most part here. Try to look at the others too. This beginning is really messed up. We didn't really anticipate the other team changing as much as they did, and kind of really slowed us down. But thankfully, the middle's not too far. So, kind of same thing, going around that box. I'm not expecting to deal with Fang at this point. I didn't realize that they changed. I was kind of trying to advise Caps Lock on what to do in his matchup. And so I was like, oh, this is going to be pretty hard. Mostly because Fang is just, he's still kind of not balanced at this point. He's still, pretty strong hero, more so than many others. Still trying to get that respawn. Notice I'm not really going to split very much. It's kind of a futile effort against Fang. I'm just going to be completely aggro and try to just farm as much as I can and then go heal. Splitting is really a waste of time, especially since you can also get harassed with Fang because of the nature of his auto attack. Just pretty much attacks anything that's close together. So let's take a look at the other lanes here. Chimera is very powerful early game with the harassing. It's very frustrating his melee, especially if you were Zeros or something like that with low health. Makanos also is really good Hades player, best around here at least. Hades is very strong opponent as well. Very hard to deal with. Quick pushing. So right here, kind of what I'm doing to split these big Marines, kind of doing two things. I've got my clicker out, and I've also got the hold key. I'm spamming that as I'm moving, so it's kind of like a really fast click and hold. So that way, he kind of moves slowly, I guess you could put it that way. That's how you can split well. So you can see I'm really getting harassed really hard here. I just needed enough to get a card. I was hoping to get more. Kind of with that respawn, you see there's still one Marine I needed to kill to get that. Or actually, two Marines I needed to kill to get that respawn, because you need to kill half of each wave to get him back. Looks like Pac-Man really farming his lane here, and Makanos is kind of, 50-50 with his. Now, these boxes, I was farming to kind of get him back when I'd come back with my mana card, but it looks like Aloera beat me to it. So right now I'm just trying to catch up, to some, like, a level behind at this point. Very hard matchup, especially for Zeros. And especially for Dark True Strike Zeros. And in this sense, I didn't really want to do like 4 or 5 mana and get DTS early. Just wasn't really my thing. So I'd rather just save up and get a really high damaging one. So I charge canceled back to those tanks just so I can get there faster. This one, the lower one, I damaged enough to where I could start hitting the top one and then get them both when I used the X skill. So kind of just farming so I can get 700 gas. My goal is to get enough to get a pot and then another mana card. I'm just so far behind now that I need to just keep faking it until I make it, basically. Makanos kind of farming that pylon, or farming the tank with his pylon, really just Hades is one of those heroes that you don't expect to do a lot of damage, but you walk around the pylon for a few seconds and you're halfway dead. So I charged, again, kind of charged back into battle there, just because I don't want to take my time. And they had a little plot fight here, and looks like Caps Lock won. Probably the only time that he got away winning anything in this lane. So, coming up here, I know Aloe has a pot, and I know that he's waiting, so I'm going to bait him into using his pot, like I just did now. I charged at him like I was going to do it. I'm trying to run around and avoid his stuff, and I just get away. When he comes at me, I can see that his mana has expired. He can't use any more skills, so I'm going to pot at that point and take his tank. So now I'm at 930 gas with 2 more tanks. That's going to be, just enough to get a pot. And Golrin almost ambushes me, and I'm kind of a risky type, so I go for it. I'm avoiding him. I know he's going to predict me going there, so I go the other way. I'm charging, then I hit the block there, and then I go forward. So Pac-Man farming those tanks with the little Zerglings. They're very effective at doing that. You can do it very early as well. So Chimera is one of those heroes that can kind of farm the tanks before that very first respawn at just under 6 minutes. So now you can see, compared to everyone else, I'm kind of around the same level. I'm a little higher than Aloera now because he's been denied of those tanks. That kill was a critical kill, the one that I did on him, because it wasn't really so much the kill as what I got as a result of it. And you always have to consider that with any hero. By killing him, I was able to take the tanks and jump, back to being normal level, since my start was just really bad. I'm kind of being cautious here, trying to be more in a support role. Again, Zeros doesn't shine until late game, so now at this point, for some reason, and this always gets to me, is this new level system. In the old level system, I used to always get DTS at level 8, and sometimes I still forget that with this new system. I for some reason I thought I had DTS here, so I get trapped, I charge, and I mess it up. I should have charged. The goal is to charge the trailer and then the block. Now I'm kind of really trying to get out of the way, but unfortunately I die. That Chimera ultimate, very frustrating. It's very good at controlling PvP because basically your movement is pretty much blocked. So now my lane is getting pushed. That was a critical kill for them because if I can get denied all this creep, then it's going to be pretty tough. But thankfully I come back just in time to get the significant ones. Small Marines are taking the hits, so that's good. Kana's still farming as usual. Hades, just really, really powerful hero. The auto attack on Hades, I don't know, personally I feel it's a little bit broken actually. It just does so much damage if you stay on it, so it's great for farming tanks and stuff. Kind of checking things out now that I've got Dark True Strike. I'm trying to check things out and see what's going on. I can start sniping people. Pac-Man looks like he just killed Caps Lock. I don't know why he went Quakers. I mean, let's just see. And I miss Pac-Man. Just miss-aimed that, I guess. I'm just trying to bait him to see if he has a potion. In this case he doesn't, but I'm not aware of that. Of course, my speed is very low at this point. That's why sniping build doesn't really kick in until later because right now I spent all my points putting into attack. And so I've barely started to get speed at level 10. I do hit aloe vera, but not enough. So as you can see, Chimera actually really high burst damage. It's just... Now thankfully, Macanas, we have someone that's pushing the lane. With Caps Lock losing his lane and I'm kind of breaking even, we needed someone to really push the lane, and Hades is great for that. But unfortunately, he gets blocked there. Now Aloe Vera, you see how I baited him into that trap. I know that he's gonna go for it early, just because of the psychological factor. Again, a lot of zeros is psychology. If someone is not necessarily intimidated, but kind of a little battle ready, then you can bait them a lot easier than someone who's more relaxed. So I saw Golden over there and I just sniped him. It's a great sniping tool. It's pretty funny that you'd think that you can really avoid it if you have blink, and a lot of times it's just so I guess impressing, or whatever the word is for the graphic, that it's like, oh wow, that's cool, giant wave of death is coming at me, and you just don't move, kind of like the bird deer in the headlights thing. So right now we do have a bunker down thanks to Macanas, but overall levels aren't that significantly different. Pac-Man, he's still coming up. He's still got his bunker to go down. Aloe Vera, he still has his shield, so I snipe him there. I know I can get both. I go for both. At this point, because I've had to use more mana card and pot and stuff like that, my regen isn't as high as it was in the other game where it was 2 versus 3. You can see Chimera is just really, very formidable opponent. Can take out buildings, especially tier 1, really fast. Those sunken colonies do a heck of a lot of damage. I don't know what that DTS was. I think my mind was saying, oh, hit the creep, wait no, hit the tanks, and we got something in between. Aloe already has 1,000 shields, really playing defensively, especially with Fang. That's just, my worst nightmare. Because I really don't want to have to hang around his spiders and all this other stuff. As you can see, it's just, it's like this whole field of death with spiders and auto attack and everything. Very difficult. Right now I'm actually, kind of under-leveled, except for Caps Lock. Oh man. Kind of an inside joke, now that he went Quakers and did really bad, we just kind of tease him about it. He's really mad. You can see how quick Chimera really just wasted that turret. Pretty crazy. I sniped Golden there. And I'm just going to take Caps Lock stuff. At this point, he's very underleveled, not really going to contribute very much, so I'm just going to max out my stuff. Now I bought a mana pack as well here. This is something I normally do. The reason I buy a mana pack is so I can have enough for the F and C combo. So yeah, I charge cancel away from Pac-Man there. Good thing I got that charge cancel, otherwise I would have died. He's being really greedy here, and he misses, of course. Kanas thankfully lowered those turrets for my bunker with the pylon, which is amazing at doing damage to buildings, to tier 1 buildings. And so I just was able to snipe both of them with my Dark True Strike. Thankfully, I've been getting away from Aloera's traps. I mean, with the way things are now, I have no shields, nothing. You know, it'd be really bad if I did get trapped. So now I've got a good kill, got some money going, buy some shields and some potions. And I'm thinking about this bunker, you know, I'm just gonna pot it and kill it really fast because, you know, some of them are dead, so I'm just gonna really try to get my, I think I die, yeah, but I do get it. I think I still got the experience bonus, I'm not sure, maybe not though. Yeah, I don't think I did actually, which is really bad because, you know, I mean, that's like, you know, that's a huge part of your leveling. Even though it's not as much as it was before, it's still pretty significant. And you can see, you know, Fang, now he's at 2,000 shields. I was trying to get both of them there, but you know, again, the 2,000 shields is really challenging. At this point, you know, he's really controlling space. You know, good thing I got him, and then of course, Pac-Man gets me with that ultimate. Really controlling space. You know, Fang is just, you can just run around his fighters all day. It's very challenging. Makana's being a good teammate here. You know, he's hanging out so that the creep don't go towards the general and die, waiting for me to resurrect here. Yeah, pretty much he's tanking for me. Almost died. Now at this point I've got some money. I'm gonna just stack up some shields. Get back up to where I should be. All the action's happening over here. I miss. And now, again, I don't really have a potion, but I'm just trying to bide my time. And I die. The surround for Chimera is just, you know, with the lings and the tentacles and stuff, I mean, you take a lot of damage. I remember a long time ago, probably like, I don't know, 5 months ago or something, maybe longer, I was in a pub and we ended up, it was just me and another guy. It ended up being a 1 versus 1 after everyone left. He was Mode Blade Hunter. I'll never forget this. Mode Blade Hunter, and I was Chimera. And I had gone like 1 mana or something silly. Ended up with 50 armor. He had 50 armor as well, you know, in mode. And, you know, in a 1 versus 1, or, you know, at it late game, I would still win just from all the tentacles and, you know, dropping on the floor with the ultimate, and just, it was just crazy amount of damage once you get locked in. I missed there. Not doing so hot right now. Thankfully, Makanis is kind of carrying us a little bit. Still not where I'd like to be as far as resources and kind of feed and all this other stuff, but you know, it's coming along. Right now we have a building deficiency and we're behind by 1 bunker. So his pot or coming after me. See what's happening. There's a good charge cancel. I get away. Thankfully, that bounce from Abel doesn't bounce as much as it used to. So now I'm going to come back. I hit Pac-Man because I know he was coming at the battle, and the other two died because Makanos was there, which was good. Hades is very helpful. I finally buy a teleport. You know, kind of probably should have bought that earlier, but I don't know. Usually how I move around the map, very stealthy, you know, try not to get trapped. I'm not in sort of the aggressor role at this point. It's more just, you know, support. Let Makanos kind of tank and then come back. Fang, as you can see, again, very difficult, but that Hades ultimate, great for working with DTS, but I didn't get my aim right. So what I did there, you know, I kind of knew that he was coming. I wanted to make it look, again, same strategy, make it look like I'm running away. Get him into that greed mode. It's so funny with Caps Lock as Quakers. It's pretty much, you know, another 2 versus 3, but, you know, we're kind of behind here. It's starting to look pretty bad. You know, they're really pushing tier 2, and our bunker still isn't down, but I'm gonna get some supplies here. So what I did there with that charge cancel, kind of another general principle, you can try to avoid the creep if you really charge cancel behind the light posts or the electric posts or whatever they are. That way, without vision, he can just cruise really straight. Of course, the best way to charge cancel in that area is to just click the actual buildings themselves, which, you know, shouldn't be too hard. They're pretty big. Right now, I'm trying to keep my distance to evaluate what's happening. You know, I've hit him with DTS there. The ultimate from that Chimera is preventing me from really moving around, so I'm trying to maintain the tower vision so I can snipe if I have to. Yeah, that Hades actually, I mean, you know, within the, if you don't blink, within the time of his ultimate, he can combine, you know, 3 abilities, as well as that his pylon does a lot of damage. So right now, kind of, you know, trying to warm up to this mid or late game. I'm still buying armor. I'm at about 14 armor here. I'm just trying to farm. I want to get to the point where I can just tank, you know, like I did before, just tank a lot of armor, a lot of damage, all that stuff. Makanos is getting up there as well, but, you know, Caps Lock still level 15. Not very useful, but, you know, it's okay. It's no big deal. So for me right now, I'm checking out the action. They're not really doing very much as far as pushing, so that gives me time while they're distracted to take out that bunker and then come back and defend. And Chimera dies there. I miss my DTS. I missed a little, you know, a few more times than I'd like to in this game, but, you know, it's alright. So at this point, kind of in the late game, you know, I've only got health potion. I don't really need a mana pot since I can combo with F and C, and then you know, any other skills after that since I have max regen. You know, again, even though it's late game, still the same concept of sniping. If I can get you with F and C, then I don't really need to do anything else. Don't need a pot. I still have pots, you know, but at this point my preference is going to be for health potions because, you know, pots, mana pots I only use in kind of a dire circumstance if I'm surrounded and I've just wasted my Dark-True Strike, I need to spam, that kind of stuff. Yeah, a combination of Fang and Chimera is just a nightmare for pretty much anyone with so many auto-attacking indestructible things. It's very, you know, very dangerous terrain. Now I'm still a commander here, even though, you know. So I see Pac-Man's going there to farm. I'm going to try to jump him and see if he had a teleport, and he did. A lot of times, sometimes people will try to, especially people like Pac-Man that are really tricky, they'll try to game you into using your potion before they use their teleport. In that case, I just want to inflict as much damage as possible to force them to doing that. I miss again. I had to use a lot of potions there. I just, luckily my teleport, well, you know, was on its cooldown. So at this point, the challenge is that we're kind of behind with our buildings. Just killed Golrin. It gives me some money to kind of spend. I'm up to 34 armor now, so it's really coming up there. I think by the end of this game I end up being like, well, I don't know, maybe 50? I don't remember. We'll see. Either way, I just remember being pretty good late game. I tried to charge cancel and get up that eye. I wasn't sure if anybody was up there. You can see a lot of people are hanging out in the middle. That's where the action's at, so I'm going to head over there. I tried to steal his tank, but a little bit late. I get Pac-Man there. I'm trying to run away from Fang. Super long range with this thing. You know, both of us get away with low HP. I'm trying to stay on him to see if that's kind of, yeah, so I end up getting him. It's kind of one of my things. I like to be high risk. You notice, I mean, I could have died many times there, and I just risked it. Try to stay out of sight, and then just get him when I can. Oliver, I guess, was typing, but, you know, no excuse. No mercy when you play Fang. Canas, although he has health, you need that health as Hades, still won't be able to tank as much as I will with the armor I have. trying to just lure them again. Say, hey, I'm here, come follow me, so I can throw a DTS like I just did. And then unfortunately, I see Pac-Man coming, so I need to skedaddle, but I die instead. Now, meanwhile, while all this stuff is going on, you know, Mechonis was pushing tier 2. Hades, you know, not the best push, but even for tier 2, he can kind of group the colonel with the buildings there and do damage to both. So he isn't that bad. He can still push, although not the best. Fang, as you can see, you know, pretty unapproachable. You know, in this kind of field that he makes. At this point, you know, Caps Lock is just feeding, so kind of a challenge, but you know, we can still win. As long as the general's up, we can still have a pretty good chance. So at this point, I'm at 42 armor. I've got a good amount of potions going. Trying to farm and get rid of this creep here on the lanes. Now Mechonis left the left side buildings, I think for Caps Lock, but I'm just gonna go ahead and take them. I mess up that charge cancel there. I'm trying to get to where Pac-Man is and neutralize him before I go push, because I take out one of my neutral buildings instead. I'm following Pac-Man throughout the whole map here. I miss. Very frustrating. Been getting a lot of lag spikes in this game too. He calls me a noob. Yeah, I guess I am. Goran's over there. It's just a bad idea to use Chaos Beam on Zeros. You know, unless there are other people around. And unless you're really good with linking. I kill him and then try to run away. I still have my teleport, so if it gets hot, then I'm just gonna get out here. I lured Pac-Man there, but he had a teleport. So down to the wire here. They're our general. We still have a side to go, but you know, I've kind of really farmed well now, and now I'm much more confident being up in front with aggression. 44 armor, got a ton of potions. I'm gonna go and clear out this side here. So you see, Hades can really clump those two together, which is very handy. That's what you want to do when you push the second tier. You want to attack that colonel, go into a corner so he, you know, comes up next to it, and then farm both at the same time. At this point, I'm just trying to take out those buildings. I don't really care about PvP, but it looks like they dragged me into it. I charge, try to get Goran. He has a pot and several potions there. He has a ton. Still has 4 mana potions. So I'm happy with at least making him waste it. If I can't kill him. So just basic stuff, being patient, waiting for the right time. 46 armor now. Still got a few more levels. If I take out tier 2 plus the generator, I can gain a few more levels and maybe hopefully get up to 50 armor so I can just be a huge tank. You can see all of us really using a lot of potions. Nice part about having Zeros on your team is that you force the enemy to go HP, which kind of in the greater scheme of things, it's not as good of a. Golden didn't go HP, which probably a bad mistake, but. It's just ridiculous how many health potions, Fang can dump and just stand there, while everything else is attacking you. I got Pac-Man there. I'm trying to get both of them. It's just, and it ends up being to where I have to run. And I die there. Good shot by Golden. Pac-Man getting away with and caps lock. His moment of glory in this whole game was to kill Pac-Man at 45 HP. So, now we're even for buildings. Although our general is kind of, almost down, which is not a good thing, because with the kind of team that they have, they can really be defensive. With Fang and with Chimera, it's just a nightmare trying to go there and take out the general when they put nukes up and they're just defending. So right now I am at 48 armor. Pretty much take half damage from everything that comes in, as well as the 20% skill reduction armor. So able with any kind of other trap hero like Ron or Fang, whatever. It's just really frustrating if you don't have a blink. So right now everyone is using a lot of potions. This is kind of the big push that they're doing. Able, 2 of them are dead, so now I'm going to use my money, buy some potions and cards. Well, just potions, I guess, for now. Pac-Man's probably going to kill Caps Lock. I'm going to try to save him, but so the goal is, when you push these again, is to try to lure all the Thors and the general together. At this point, they've made me waste my mana and my life trying to get in there. Again, good example of how defensive that is. So now I've gotten the kill bonus and my level, so I'm up to 52 armor, which is really good. Because with a card, I'll be practically invincible. So kind of clumping everything together. I'm hoping to wait for my DTS cooldown. Shoot it and then warp. I do that quite a few times. It's a neat little technique if you can have the fingers for it. You just, you wait for your cooldown, you fire it, and you warp out. Kind of like giving them the middle finger pretty much. But in this case, I didn't kill anyone, so. Now I've got the big push. 72 armor, skill card to increase my damage, 4 health potions, and 2 mana pots. So, this is pretty good. At this point, I'm not really caring about defense. I'm just gonna try to farm. Now, Pac-Man and Golden have put up nukes, kind of like I said they would, but it's all good. Because at this point, we overpushed. So you can see that comment was because Pac-Man was trolling me about Caps Lock being the best zeros. So there you go. As you can see, it's not always about getting the weakest player or feeding. This time I had a really hard beginning and just had to cautiously play until the point where I could snowball out of control, and thanks to Makanas, that was really a huge help in this game because Caps Lock pretty much fed the entire game. So there you go. There's zeros.